Yo, it's Roy Marcus and Weston back on the video. Today we're doing our top 10 underrated BR guns. And we're just going to kind of cover just 10 guns, right? I'm not really listing these out in order. I really have a lot of rules for this, right? So when I'm talking about BR guns, right? Underrated BR guns. I want to cover that I have mostly played all my games of BR this season. I didn't really just like the strategy where you AFK grind to BR legendary. I've posted videos on it multiple times. Like, I didn't do that this time. I played out most of my games. I was actually enjoying the mode because lobbies were filled up because nobody seems to like playing third person with the gulag. So I don't know, I was just able to find more real lobbies and actually required me to play, right? So that was fun. I enjoyed it, and I got to use a variety of weapons because I hate using the same guns over and over and over again, like the USS-9. So there will be sets of guns that I do not include in this. I will not be including any marksman rifles. I don't, for obvious reasons, I guess. Same with shotguns, for not really obvious reasons. I'll explain. So if you've used the shotguns in BR in the last, I don't know, 4 years, really since day one, but the last 4 years, especially since they just got that big buff a long time ago, they haven't been nerfed, right? So sliding around with your KRM, HSO, BY-15, Argus, these pump shotguns, that's all you see in third person, right? I hate that. I'm not a third person player. I like first person. So first person, you don't have to deal with that. You know what I mean? That cheese, I hate it. So I don't deal with it. So I'm not including that in here. But if you do play third person, you should already know what the best guns are, and you've probably been using them for the last 3 years. Just keep sliding around with the shotguns, having a blast. Good for you. Now, I will not include any of the multiplayer, like super meta guns, like your VMPs, your USS-9s, your Odin, stuff like that. No reason to put that in here. All three of those guns are pretty good in BR. So there's not really a reason for me to include that in here. I mean, especially if you have a mythic. I'm also not referring to the mythics of any of these guns in this gameplay. I just don't think that the mythics should necessarily... If you have a mythic for a gun, then you understand that like it can be much better with a mythic. So I'm not taking mythics into account with any of these guns either, right? So I'm going to name guns that have mythics, but I'm not thinking about the mythics when I'm putting them on here. That being said, let's get into it. Now that I've kind of laid out the ground rules for how we're kind of talking about this underrated BR guns topic. The Lag 53. This AR is a lot like the Odin. I would say it's like the Walmart version of the Odin, right? So it's a super slow firing AR that deals out a lot of damage. And it's actually pretty good. You'll see it towards the end of this gameplay. It performs just like the Odin you're seeing right now, except maybe it's not as strong, but it's still really good. I really like it. It's a nice change of pace from what we see in like this current meta, which has been the meta for like the last 7 months of our lives. So I enjoy it. It's just a nice switch up, right? I don't see anybody else using it at all, so I just thought I'd give it a try. It actually turned out to be pretty solid, so kind of part of the reason why I wanted to make this video. Next up, we got the PPSH 41. The PPSH, man, this is just one of my favorite all-time SMGs in Call of Duty, period. But in Call of Duty Mobile especially, man. When this came out, I really loved it in the multiplayer space and the BR space. And it got nerfed in multiplayer, essentially, so it's better in BR now. But I really like it. Having a ton of ammo, shoots super fast. Overall, it's pretty solid. It's had substantial nerfs to some of its better attachments, so it's not as good as it once was in BR, but it's still fun to use and run around with. And you don't really see a lot of SMGs used in combo BR, right? A lot of times it's just your AK-117 and whatever shotgun you're going to slide around with, and that's all you really see. Next up, you got the Grau. I am a Grau lover. I got to put it in here. No recoil, solid fire rate. It's really hard to miss with this gun. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to miss bullets. Like, you can't really shoot somebody and miss bullets with this thing. It's a laser beam. It's phenomenal. I've kind of talked about it for a long time as one of my favorite guns to use in BR. And for good reason. It's been pretty good in BR pretty much since it came into the game. Next up, we're going to talk about I don't even know. Nobody talks about this gun. The Swordfish. In BR, right? We're thinking BR, we're not thinking multiplayer. Multiplayer can one burst, whatever. Here in BR, if you can get the burst to hit their head, it almost one bursts in BR. Like, it's actually insanely strong if you can get that burst to hit their head. Problem is, it's very difficult, and with the burst trajectory and the bullet spread not being as tight as you can possibly get it with your Ranger foregrips and all those attachments, the Halberd magazine especially, it can be kind of tough. But it definitely does, like, insane damage, and it's really good, especially if you catch somebody like stopped at one of these drops right here and you wait for them to get there to grab their gun and then just start unloading on them. Dude, you're gonna get off those 2 bursts quick and they're gonna be down. You know what I mean? So it's a really, really underrated gun. And unlike, people always give me crap for using a red dot multiplayer, but in BR you don't need a red dot on it, right? I definitely think multiplayer you do. We could argue that another day because I have the legendary. That's why, I guess. I don't know. If you have the legendary, it doesn't matter. It's not like having a mythic. You get my point? FFAR. Let's talk about this thing, man. If you have the mythic for it, good for you, whatever. If you don't, I still think this is a good gun. Like, if you want to run around with an AR, I think the FFAR feels really good to run around with. I really just use what I use in multiplayer on it and just take it to BR, and I still love it. Like, I think it still feels great. Overall, I do think it feels a lot better in BR than it does in multiplayer, though. That's just how I feel about the gun and, like, the way it performs up close and in, like, intermediate ranges. Next up, we're going to cover the MG42 and the MG82 kind of together. We're smashing them in, right? If you have the mythic for the MG42, we're not talking about that. We're just talking about these two guns and how they perform. The MG42, you can put on the 2 recoil or rapid fire attachments, the recoil booster and the rapid fire barrel, and just absolutely expedite the process of bullets coming out of your barrel. And that's great. That's what makes the MG42 super good. I am slowly dropping it down my multiplayer rankings. Like, it's not a top 10 gun anymore for me. It's just so weak. It's too weak in that mode for it to be that viable. You have to hit people like 7 times. It's ridiculous. But in BR, you might have to hit them 15 times, right? But you're going to have, everybody's got to hit people like 7 times. So in that case, it's kind of okay because you're going to shoot 15 bullets insanely fast. And the Odin's going to shoot 15 bullets a lot slower. So it's kind of a give and take there. Now, the iron sights do suck, whatever the case may be. You can get used to those, right? I got mine diamond before I even got the mythic. So you can get used to them for sure. The MG82 is the same way. It doesn't have those recoil boosting attachments or rapid fire boosting attachments. But what it does have is slightly better damage ratios for the gun, right? So when you're looking at the MG42 and the MG82 side by side, like in multiplayer, I think at the base range of like 10 meters, one of them hits for 18, I think, and the other one hits for 24, right? But 24 is not enough to 4-shot in multiplayer. So that's why the MG82 isn't as good, but it's still good in BR, and I've used it a lot. I also like to touch on the Hades real quick. The Hades is the crossbar mod where you can hip fire it. That's really what I'm referring to. I just think it's a lot of fun to use. Not necessarily the best gun ever. I just have a lot of fun using it in BR. I don't know why. I think it just gives me Black Ops 4 vibes. And then the 2 pistols I want to include, the LCAR-9 and the machine pistol, right? I just think that sometimes you just need to mix it up, right? And playing first person, I really enjoy whipping out the pistols in BR because nobody else is doing it. So I like using these 2. I know it's crazy just hopping in with dual wield machine pistols, just trolling, I guess, but I enjoy doing it. So give it a shot if you're interested in that kind of thing. Here I'm just going over my class setups and like how I would build these guns out. Like the Swordfish, you got to have that halberd mag, extending out that damage range with the barrel, and then a stock as well would help. FFAR, really just having more ammo and then choosing the right barrel. You can go with the Task Force if you want. There might be a reinforced barrel that's better, but either one is probably fine. Gotta have that strafe speed stock as well, the Bandit, I believe, and then a suppressor of some kind, and then you're probably gravy with that gun. But overall, oh, and the grips. I usually go with the Black Ops grip in multiplayer, but the Field Agent grip in BR. So it's kind of up to you. However you want to run it, whatever feels better for you personally. Overall, the SMG category is kind of weak, man. I do run the QQ9 sometimes, but I run it like it's console side. So like back in the day in like 2019 when Warzone was out, like the original Warzone, and I was running the MP5 all the time, I would run those exact attachments like Merc foregrip, sleight of hand, 45 round mag, collapsible stock, which is like no stock in this game, and a suppressor like the Monolithic, and I would just run it like that. You know what I mean? Also, like to touch on the RPD right here. This game's always good. Like, you can't go wrong. Anytime I see a RPD on the ground, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll take that. Can't go wrong with that. You know what I mean? So that could probably be on this list, honestly, over the pistols. If I was going to put a gun over the pistols, I would put the RPD on here, because I think the RPD really is, it's, I don't know, it's like Mr. Consistent, like, of the LMG category. Like, it's always just good. You know what I mean? It's not always great. It's not always bad. It's just good. That's just how I think of it. Here's how I like to use the crossbar. This is just what I run on it in BR. I have a lot of fun with it. So, you know, if you want to give it a shot, feel free. I have seen a lot of talk about the RAW. I don't know if it's really worth running, though. People seem to like the RAW now after the buff. I really don't think it's good enough to compete with the meta in either mode. Even in first person, I wouldn't even want to run it in first person BR. That's how bad I really think that gun is overall. But there was a time in the console days where the RAW absolutely destroyed. So maybe it'll get buffed and be back to that, which would kind of suck, honestly. That being said, I've covered my thoughts on 10 underrated BR guns. I'll rattle them off real quick. Lag 53, PPSH, Growl, Swordfish, FAR, MG42, MG82, Hades, LCAR9, Machine Pistol. Go ahead and rock the RPD as well. That being said, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if there's a gun that you think I missed that I'm sleeping on in BR. It's been your boy Marcus Orsini. I'm not including shotguns. I'm out of here. Peace.